Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and I'm going to show you a couple of live student trades. I'm going to show you three of them from a single student. Just our usual reminder, uh, our disclosure notice that trading futures can be risky. Only use money you can afford to lose, and understand that it's not always as easy as we make it look in these videos. So you need to know what you're doing. It can be learned, but just understand there is a risk in trading futures. So enjoy the trades. Okay, this particular trade was, I'm going to show you three trades. I think I'm going to show two, at least three, at least two, maybe three. But this is a particular trader that sent me an email. He talked about the success he was having. He does do a couple of things different. He uses, I believe they're called Renko bars. I believe that's what they're called, RENKO. But basically, once it moves one direction in 5 ticks, it starts a new bar. So most of these, like when you get these trend ones, they're going to be 5 ticks or however many ticks he set it to. I'm assuming, I don't know if they're automatically 5 or if you can set them. I think you can set them to whatever you like. His may be a little bit more than 5 ticks. I'm not sure. But it must have moved 4 ticks that way before it moved 5 ticks this way. Otherwise, you wouldn't have that big stem on it. Same thing here. It moved. But when it's trending, you can see it just opens and closes, and so it works a little different than tick charts, although it's still it works similar. The problem is that you won't see quite as many details in the um, price action as you would with a tick chart, but it might clean it up for some people that aren't used to seeing all that. My opinion is you can see more of the price action, and you see more of the details in the tick chart. But if this works, by all means use it. So I'm never going to tell anybody not to use what works, and he says he's having great success. He's also says he's going for 2 points most of the time. Although I think he did say there were some periods where he does go for 4 ticks, but when it's trending, he usually goes for 2 points or 8 ticks. So other than that, he's using basically the same thing we are. And you can see here he's trying to take a second entry short here, and we're in a downtrend. And you got a trend working up, close outside, move to a new high, and a break below this bar is going to be a second entry short. So let's watch this play and see what happens. You can see he did get filled on the break below the bar. He actually entered this, it broke higher, I believe, and then turned down. So he entered it on a engulfing bar. And I don't know enough about these Renko bars to really say if there's a reason not to use them. Like I said, he's having success with them. But if you're trying to learn this and you're used to using tick charts, I would say don't go try to use Renko bars. Stick to the. I mean, I'm not going to change, even if I see that he's got a 90+%, because I know what works for me, and I do believe that I still can see more information in the price action with tick charts, because this might smooth it out and clean it up a little bit. But I think sometimes you need to see that other information, or at least I do, based on my style of reading the chart. So I'm going to stick to tick charts, and I'm not saying yay or nay against going to these Renko bars, but that's what he's using, and he's having success with it. And I did want to show you a winning trade or two of his here. So, but you can see the second entry's triggered. He's got a little back up here, but he does not get stopped out. This turns down, and um, ends up being a pretty nice trade. I think it's the entire thing's 2 minutes and 19 seconds, so you can't argue with that. Being able to make 2 points in 2 minutes, so about a minute per point. He would have probably gotten out sooner with a 1 point. You can see, I believe that green line, the first green line there going down that he's just touching, I think that's your 4 points, and then the next line would be your, well, maybe not. I'm not sure what that is, because 2 points would have been the other line he hit if that was the case. So I don't know what those green lines are. There's something he has on there. But there it was. Nice trade. Again, you can see we're in a downtrend, and he took the second entry there, and he got 2 points. And he's trading with 5 contracts, so that's a 10-point. That's a 10-point trade, so that's an easy $500. So very nice trade. Thanks to this trader for sharing his success story with me and sharing his trade with me. Let's see if maybe we can watch one more of his. But this looks like he's just taking a range trade here. You can see the signal bar at the top of the range. It does make a lower high than this failed breakout. So I like this setup as well. You can see he's got his sell order 1 tick below that signal bar there. It looks like it might have already triggered here, but let's just let this play out. It actually was triggering just as I turned it on there. But again, it looks like he's going for 2 points here. And this whole video is 37 seconds, so this one must trigger pretty quickly, rather quickly. Yep, and there it is. Quick, easy 2-point scout right off the high of the range. So another nice trade. Let's see if we have one more. Okay, it looks like he's taking a second entry long on this one. Notice he's got a first entry, and it triggered a second entry on the engulfing bar. And it's hard to know. I don't know. That looks fully bearish, so I would assume it would look similar on a tick chart. So I don't know, but it looks like he's taking it on the engulfing bar. He may not have. It's hard to say because it might have already triggered. But we'll start it and we'll see what happens here, and you can see exactly how he takes it. It looks like he went long, maybe on 1 tick above that bar. I can't tell if he waited till this one closed or not, to be honest, but it doesn't really matter. You see he's taking a second entry long. You got the channel working up here, close outside, and a first entry, and he just took the second entry. So it's a second entry long. When you're looking for a retest of this high. This one takes a little longer to play out. We'll speed it along here. You can see it's still working higher. It may pull back here. Yeah, he gets a little pull back here. But notice he's got his safety stop 1 tick below the signal bar. It's exactly where we teach you to put it. And that's where and there's a reason we tell you to put it there. If you put it anywhere other in there besides 1 tick below, you could get stopped out on a perfectly good trade. So you got to be real careful with that. I've had people contact me saying I'm doing everything right and I can't get a winner no matter what. I get stopped out every time. And I say, well, send me one of your trades. And they send it to me, and I find out they're trying to keep their stop within the 8 tick rule, and you just can't do that unless it puts it below 1 tick above or 1 tick below the signal bar. Because what'll happen is they'll back up like this and run your stops, but notice they won't get this safety stop back here because it's protected below that swing low. For prices to go below that swing low, then this move up is probably going to fail and prices are going to turn down. So if you're reading the chart right, and we're definitely going to get a new high, which I would agree with his thinking here. 100%, then right here, your stop will be protected. But if you put it anywhere inside that bar, you can see all the way back to about where it opened up, he would have got stopped out. Actually, one tick below that, it looks like he would have got stopped out. But instead, he's still in this trade, and it's still working in his favor. We'll move it ahead a little bit, just to speed it up. And again, I'm not sure what is the green. There's some kind of measurement, but I'm not sure what they are. He didn't say, and I didn't ask him, so they look like equal measurements. So there's probably something that he's measuring out there to keep up with how far it's moved, or this was his longest trade. Obviously, this one took the longest to fill. He did have a pullback with a higher low here, but you can see there's some resistance right across there, for sure. I mean, he had plenty of room here without to worry, and you see he's going to make it here. But yeah, prices are not moving real quickly here. There's no time notations on this chart at all, so I don't know what time of the day or when he's taking this trade. And there it is. So another nice trade. Thanks to this trader for sharing his 3 trades. I've got some other trades that I want to show you, but I'll save them for another time. So if you sent me a trade this week and it didn't get played, I'll get to it. Just I've got a few that were ahead of you. I've had this one. These were the oldest ones I had, so I wanted to get his done. I just decided I'd go ahead and do all 3 of his. So, but there's your 3 trades. Little different, same strategy, same. He's doing everything the same, except he's using a little different type bar chart bar or bar chart. Instead of using a tick chart, he's using a Renko chart. And I think all 3 of these trades he went for 2 ticks instead of 4 ticks. Now, personally myself, I stick to 4 ticks. I don't try to get any more than that. If I want to get more than that, I try to get a runner. And sometimes I'll give my runners a little more room. In other words, if I scalp out with 15, I might take my profits from 5 of those contracts and risk that amount of money on my safety stop for the 5 runners to give it a little more room. Other times I may not move. I may move my stop to break even or break even plus 1. So at least at break even plus 1, I at least pay the commissions on those losers, and they're like usually you'll make a few more dollars off of them as well. And so they're like freebies. The runners are like freebies at that case. Now you'll get stopped out more often at break even or break even plus 1, but you'll be guaranteed to make money on every trade that is a winner. Where if you may not do that if you give it too much room. So there's trade-offs, and you do what works best for you. But I like to scalp for 4 ticks, and if I think I can get more, I go for a runner. And because I can tell you, if you go for 2 points, you're probably going to have more losses, and you're not going to have quite as good a win percentage. It may not be that much difference, but I don't change what works. A lot of these trades are designed to get 4 ticks, so sometimes you're going to have a loser if you go for 8 ticks. It's just facts. So you probably would have gotten out of it with 4 ticks, but with 8 you'll probably take a loser. Now you're making more profit by going with 4, so maybe it offsets itself and it's not a problem. But do what works for you. And if you want to follow the strategy to the T, then scout for 4 ticks, and if you want to go more, use the runners for that. That's my suggestion. So, but nice job by this trader. Thanks for sharing your trades, talking about your strategy, and This trader says it took him a while, but he's made it. And he just wanted to show you some of his trades and show you some of the success he's having. And I appreciate him sharing it with us. So thanks to this trader again. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.